In this video, we'll tackle a very necessary topic, what having a baby will do to your sleep schedule and how to handle it. If you want to sleep polyphasically and are going to have a baby, I really suggest you watch this video because it could impact your schedule choice immensely. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Crimson Flower and I'm a main author of polyphasic.net, the community recommended resource for polyphasic sleepers. So babies are terrible for polyphasic sleepers. They always wake up in the middle of the night. They have 60-minute sleep cycles to make sure that you won't get a full sleep cycle of rest, and it takes a very long time for them to calm down once they've woken up. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the possibilities of people who have babies to sleep polyphasically in order to take care of the newborn baby and what to think about when you're designing a polyphasic sleep schedule around having a baby. Here I'm going to split people into two categories since they'll have a vastly different options at hand. The first group consists of people who have a partner who is willing to take care of the baby when you sleep. In turn, you might allow your partner to sleep at any time when you're awake so that they can catch up on the lost sleep that they get when they take care of the baby while you're sleeping. And you both gain a net positive in time. The other group of people are those who don't have a partner who is willing to take care of the baby when you're supposed to sleep, or you feel like they're too unreliable to count on that. Let's start with group 2, the group who have partners who don't help with the baby. Here it's very difficult to pull off a polyphasic sleep schedule. A polyphasic adaptation demands that you are very strict with your sleep times, which isn't really possible when you have a small baby. Just to sprinkle salt in your wounds, once you get a hang of your baby's rhythm, it's going to spontaneously change. It's not a good situation to be in for polyphasic sleepers, for sure. In this case, you could supplement your night sleep with naps in order to decrease your homeostatic pressure that builds up throughout the day, so that you're able to sleep as much as you can. But don't go shortening your total sleep time, okay? Don't attempt a polyphasic sleep adaptation to a restricting or reducing sleep time polyphasic sleep schedule. You'll just be in a perpetual loop of sleep deprivation, which is no good. For polyphasic schedules, I recommend using as many short cores as possible to supplement a long core with interruptions that are undoubtedly going to happen, or to take as many short naps as you can to alleviate the homeostatic pressure. We have a bunch of schedules on the Polyphasic website called Non-Reducing Polyphasic Schedules, which you can check out after this video so you get a hang of what those schedules look like. This is also a good place to talk about what the baby interrupting your sleep will result in. See, when your sleep is interrupted and you go back to sleep within like 90 to 180 minutes, your sleep will be counted as interrupted and not split. What this in turn means is that your REM is going to be replaced with light sleep and your SWS is also going to be replaced with light sleep, which is the exact opposite of what polyphasic sleep aims to achieve. This even makes sleeping in general just a whole messed up bunch of things. If you want to stay up for around 3 hours after being woken up, so you don't have this issue with the lowered sleep efficiency and your sleep quality would be sort of normal, you could do that, but most people don't really have time to sleep 1.5 hours every 3 hours during the whole day, you know, unfortunately. So this is not a very realistic option to follow unless you have like no social obligations at all. So if you have any social obligations and you can't afford to sleep throughout the whole day, this is not a good option for you. But okay, let's talk about the first group of people, or the people who have partners who are willing to take care of the baby. An adaptation in this situation is still going to be very difficult. If your partner doesn't have the energy to take care of the baby during some sleeps, you're going to have to help out. which is going to set your adaptation back if you're forced to stay awake longer than usual or if you oversleep as a result of it. So be sure to be communicating with your partner, and again tell them that they are able to sleep at any time during your wake block to compensate for the lost sleep during the night. Because of this, your best bets are going to be the dual core and tri-core schedules, so that your partner doesn't have to stay up for 6 hours at a time, you know. The more split your sleep is in this case, the better. You're also going to need to figure out a good alarm setup. Obviously the baby is going to scream, so unless you are able to sleep in a completely different soundproof room, you're going to need earplugs. This is an issue because you won't hear your alarm, so the solution will be to use vibrating alarms instead. We made a video on the Pavlok device, which you can check out in the description. We'll place a link there. I also have a page on polyphasic.net with information about silent alarms, which I will also link in the description. Anyways, earplugs, check. Vibrating alarm, check. Now, what you should also do is use other alarms, not with the purpose of waking you up, because again, you need to rest for whole sleep segments, but to wake your partner up instead. The reason for this is that you are able to wake up in case your vibrating alarm goes off. So if you don't hear when it goes off, your partner will be able to come and wake you up. Okay, and obviously you need to discuss this thoroughly with them and be sure to reward them for helping you out here. So the reason why you should wake your partner up instead of you is because, again, you'll be wearing the earplugs. So there's a very realistic chance that you won't be waking up when your alarm rings. So you need to rely on your partner to wake you up instead, which could be a hassle, but again, communication is key. So great, now you have your alarm setup done. Let's talk about the risks. If your partner is going to sleep in a soundproof room when you are awake, you obviously need to make sure that you stay awake. You know, a polyphasic adaptation is hard, it's going to be taxing, it's going to be hard to stay awake. Fill your time with activities that make you somewhat alert, like painting or doing carpentry. You'll soon notice an issue with this, and that's again the baby. See, when you can't really move around when you're feeding the baby or you're lulling it to sleep, which, you know, is a terrible time altogether for your polyphasic adaptation, because if you want to allow your baby to sleep, if you want to make it easier for your baby to sleep, you're going to essentially have to pretend to be asleep, and it's very hard to stay awake when you're pretending to be asleep, which is not a good situation to be in. Try fighting this by allowing the baby to eat and sleep in your arms while you stand, for example, and then place them in their crib once they've fallen asleep. You need to have strong arms for this, because carrying a baby for long periods of time is very taxing on your body. So start training your muscles well before the baby is born, so that you can actually endure this. And if your partner is awake at the same time as you, ask them to look after you so you don't fall asleep if you don't feel like you have the energy to stand back up, you know. Okay, I hope you got some valuable information from this video. Please share in the comments below if you have any experience with babies and polyphasic sleep. In the future, we'll talk about pregnancies and sleep, so if you will be interested to hear about that, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out when we upload that video. We're also going to make an in-depth video on how to stay awake with a baby, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, I'll be seeing you in the future. Nap well, people!